All right, y'all. It is Saturday, September the 26th. It is the evening hunt of Youth Day. We ready?
Yep.
So we hunted this morning and we got soaked. We had 3 does in the field. They came back in. They were trying to give us a pretty decent shot, but they got spooked. We don't know whether it was a coyote or whether it was a bear or what, but something definitely spooked them. So we got out of the stand early. We wussed out a little bit, didn't we? Yeah, we got soaked and it was not overly fun. So we got out of the stand, went and got a good breakfast, checked the gun to make sure that it was sighted in still, got it cleaned up, went to a birthday party, and now we're back out. The weather is beautiful. We're going to the same stand we were this morning, and hoping for that big bruiser buck to come out and give us a shot. So here we go. Bait and Weight Outdoors, Youth Hunt 2020, first evening hunt. Let's see what we can do. So we were hunting beans at one of my favorite places to go. So obviously early season, beans and acorns is the way to go. I had a double stand set up right on the edge of a huge bean field. Caige was shooting a 300 Blackout, which is a custom build from EDC Tactical in Richmond that we got from a QDMA. It was custom built for the QDMA banquet a few years ago. It's what Caige killed his first deer with. But this was his first chance to hunt from a tree stand with a firearm on his own. As with most young kids, that sunlight hit him and out he went. So he passed out and kind of leaned back on me. I had him strapped into the stand, leaned back on me, and he slept for probably a good 45 minutes. It was a pretty good nap, which is no better sleeping than sleeping in the tree stand or on a deer stand waiting for the dogs to come to you. 2 deer, probably about 5:45, 2 deer came out in the back corner of the beans, started kind of working their way around to our right. And then here comes this little 6-pointer, 250 plus yards away, comes out on the back. Caige is like, well, that's the deer I'm waiting for, I want to wait. I said, okay, buddy, it's Youth Day. This is your choice. If you want to shoot, we're going to shoot. If you want to wait, we're going to wait. So we waited for a little while. The deer that came out first started to work a little bit closer. Both of them broadside, feeding in the beans. And he whispers up to me and he says, Dad, I think I want to shoot one of those. And I said, okay, buddy. Hey, this is your show. He said he was comfortable, got the gun up, got the safety off, and I told him, hey, if you wanted to shoot, now was the time.
Can I get it?
He pulled the trigger. I watched the deer kind of wince up a little bit when he shot, so I knew he had hit the deer. And the deer ran about, 10 yards deeper into the beans and stopped. I thought the deer was going to go down. And the deer never went down. So where there's a tree limb that runs directly in front of the stand and where the deer ran to, it was kind of blocking that view. So we had to move to get a second shot. I wanted him to shoot the deer again, ethically harvest the deer. Didn't want it to suffer at any point. So we transitioned, we got ready, he pulled the trigger, the gun didn't fire. The only thing I can think is that maybe he didn't have the gun tight up against his shoulder and it didn't completely re-engage the next round. So all 4 deer are still in the field at this point, which was miraculous to begin with. Early season, I guess. So I had to actually manually eject the one cartridge that was in it and re-engage the firearm for him to shoot the second time. We made a ridiculous amount of noise. And when these deer stayed in the field, all 4 of them, to be honest, I knew it was meant to be. So I said, hey buddy, sometimes it works out. We're trying to be quiet, but there is no being quiet trying to rack a AR in a metal double tree stand. So we got it reloaded. He got a good rest. I got the deer back in focus in the camera, and he took the second shot.
Okay, I think she might go down.
We waited a good 25-30 minutes. We actually reviewed the footage on the camcorder to try to make sure that it was a good shot. He decided he wanted to go down and try to track the deer. So he's walking through, he's looking and looking around, and I can see the deer actually past him up to his left. So I'm like, hey bud, why don't you kind of angle that way, try to get him to where, he's headed towards the deer.
What? What do you got, buddy? The button, man, he's beautiful.
He saw the deer, his eyes just lit up. He ran as fast as he could to get over there to the deer and was stoked. Found out that it was a button buck. And the deer was beautiful. I think I said it a couple times as it came up. Very light colored. It was a young deer. It had spots still. Obviously, we're hunting in September in Virginia, so even yearling deer have, a lot of them still have spots. And he was as proud of that deer as any deer that I've ever killed. He loves being out here.
What do you think, bud?
It's awesome. It's every kid's childhood dream.
It's every kid's child. Is it your dream?
Yes.
A little bit bigger antlers, maybe? Is that your dream, or was this good enough?
It's good for now.
I love it. Meat for the freezer, buddy. Beautiful deer, beautiful hunt. No better time than time in the stand.
Get Brandy to smoke it.
Oh, we're gonna smoke this one?
Yeah.
All right.
He wanted to drag it out completely by himself. Thank goodness it wasn't a 300-pound deer, but he dragged it out to the field edge, dragged it halfway around the field, then we went and got the truck and came back. So from start to finish, 2020's youth season was 100% a success. To say that I'm proud of Caige is an absolute understatement. Bait and Weight Outdoors, thank you for letting us be a part of this family. And I will say, so it was surprising to me that when we posted the picture on our page of Caige and his 2020 youth deer, we had a few negative comments about how the deer was so young because it had spots and it was a fawn, and we were not teaching our kids correctly how to hunt or how to ethically hunt. And it kind of hit me wrong, to be honest, because we do everything to glorify the outdoors. We try to do everything in a godly way. We try to do everything in a way that somebody would want to emulate or be a part of. And as outdoorsmen, we need to support each other. So we have an 8-year-old child that came out and harvested his second deer ever, first deer ever from a tree stand. And it didn't matter whether this deer was, a 150-inch or even a 200-inch buck. He was just as proud of this deer, a legal deer at that, than any deer that I've seen on any other hunt show or anything else. And in my experience, the best thing we can do as hunters, number one, is support each other, and number two is to take kids hunting and fishing and get them in the outdoors. They are the future of this industry. And if you get a kid outdoors and he has the opportunity to harvest a legal deer, let him. I could have easily told Caige, no buddy, we're not gonna shoot that deer, and maybe no other deer come in range that day, and maybe the next day, and then maybe the next day. Sooner or later, these kids lose interest. And I surely don't want that for my child, and I don't want that for anybody's child, because this is the greatest experience in the world to get outdoors. It's not all about the harvest. I completely understand. Deer management takes all different shapes and forms depending upon which part of the country you're in. And if that's your thing, great. But this hunt was super special to me and my son and our team here at Bait and Wait, and we wanted to share it with you. So please, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have an opportunity to take a child out and harvest one of these God's beautiful creatures that he has created, and have these experiences and make these memories with your family. So God bless. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful season this year and all the seasons to come. So be safe, and thank you so much. See you out there.